make sure you have towels, because there's gonna be a decent amount of fuel. And be careful with the floater. Let it drain. Oops, got fuel everywhere. My wife's gonna be mad. Okay, now that those clips, kind of be gentle on it. The clips come off. Let me show you. And if possible, try to do this when you have an empty fuel tank. The reason being is because my wife had just filled it up, but there's still a good amount of fuel in the loose. There's still a good amount of fuel in the in the tank. So try to take it. Do it from empty. Don't be like me. And then once you get that out, get the clips out, they're held on one piece. You're gonna have to use some pliers. Little clip, just pop it off. Screwdriver. Be careful not to mess up the wires, because if so, come on, stubborn. That's the thing about old things. There it goes. Okay, I'm gonna show you. It's held on by one clip each side. And there you go. Alright, now it's pretty much taking the fuel filter, taking the fuel pump apart from the fuel filter. And this is the new one. I mean the old one. Old one, new one. Sorry, the fumes are getting to me. Start off by getting the motor and then clipping the connection. And of course, like I've said before, be extremely careful with everything. Have your set of pliers ready. Clip everything. Some are more stubborn than others. And there's going to be a lot of fuel leaking out. This is because there's little bunch of crevices and holes. Next is this clip right here. Goes to this. So you're going to, let me see if I show you right there, this clip. You're going to have to get your needle nose pliers. Where are my pliers? Right here within, and then pop it out. And it's going to pop out, and that little ring, little O-ring is going to be in the little area. Get it out and put it in your new filter assembly. Check it out if it needs to be replaced. No, it looks pretty good. I'll put it in there. I really don't like extra work when it comes to small things, but hey. Okay, next is this little piece right here. Goes into there. You just gotta wiggle it out. Look at the new assembly. So go step by step, because you're really taking this thing apart, and it pops into this little piece right here. So pop it in. The white ring is in. Just by hand. And there you go. And make sure you get all the O-rings and seat them. You can seat them with a flathead very carefully. Make sure it's not too sharp. See it? Any O-rings you see, make sure to catch them. Next up is these little rings. They look a little bit tricky. This is a lot more like a puzzle than a damn fuel filter change, but you pop them off with a little screwdriver. Always have that. Just kind of at an angle, so they can come loose. As to why Kia did it this way, I don't. But see, it pops off. See it? And then there you go, freed up. And there's going to be fuel dumping still, of course. And then, come on, there There you go. Not the, let's just say it's not the conventional fuel filter, but it is what it is. And if you plan on keeping your car for a long time like I do, you're gonna either change that or the fuel pump. It's gonna be one or the other, really. And what I do, just a quick trick, see that over there? I put over there, it's baking soda. So it absorbs a lot of the odor, and frankly I'm feeling a little bit lightheaded. Okie dokie, put everything back as it were. I don't remember how it was. Just joking. No, really I don't. This one's over here. Okay, seat those and then seat the little rings. Alright, I'm going to show you guys right here. Push this down, springed, and push that clip in. That's what's pretty much holding it from popping out. And the other side, it's a very odd system. I've never seen something like this. They really should have just kept the fuel filter separate. I'm not going to emphasize that enough, Kia. I know there is models, I believe after this one they started doing it separate, because I actually bought an O'Reilly's fuel filter for this car, and I'll show you guys at the end of the video which one they gave me for this car, which was obviously the wrong one. That's why I don't go to O'Reilly's no more. They don't really have. Same thing with the Phillips gaskets, by the way, the valve cover gaskets. Yeah, not the ones for the car. Not in my experience. And then just pop it in. That clip right there goes inward like that. So trying to make this as detailed and not as boring as possible. Plus my camera is worth a okay. Let's just put that in the housing. You guys can see it right there, and then just pop that clip in. Let's let it actually use some finger pressure. Ah, there it is. There it goes. I'll just make sure it's seated in right. I really need to upgrade a camera. There you go. Okay, next up is the other piece. Before you put the fuel pump motor in, put this piece in. The one with the little metal clip. Put the ring, slide the ring onto the, like that, and then put it in. Snug it in tight. Goes right here. You'll see the way it's shaped, it's perfect for it. And then fit it in, you fill it snug in, and there you go. Alright, now to put the ring back on. Goes into the area where the little, see that it's closed? Go and pop it into there. Make sure this is snug in. And pop it in, and then it goes on the outside, on the other end. See it? Just get little pliers to kind of line it up. That goes right in. And there you go, and there's the little ring. So that's snug, and it won't go nowhere. And this goes in here. Kind of put it in. There's a retainer ring right here. And you can see everything. It's pretty self-explanatory once you take it apart. But oh, okay. Taking it apart is the most difficult part because one, you got to be extremely careful with everything. There you go. Sits right in there. And plastic, especially with fuel, I'm surprised it didn't break on me yet, but they didn't, so that's good. Okay, that's it. So now that's all that's set. Make sure the wires stay out. You have to plug the connector back. This is kind of tricky right here, but you guys will be able to get it. If I did it, sheesh. And so can you. Takes patience. Yeah, it still beats spending time with the wife, huh? I was joking. I hope she doesn't see this video. Anyway. It was actually different when I put it in, but this time I'm gonna do it like this. Just makes more sense. Click it in. Hear a click, of course. And then click this assembly in. Right there. Let's see. Of course, make sure your wires aren't too stressed out and all that. And then click it in. There you go. Now you're ready to put it back. Okay, now that everything's connected, you're going to put it back into the casing. Make sure you have all your O-rings before you put everything in, because the O-rings are going to be in the old fuel filter. They're going to be in the little, let me do it, show you guys again, in the little slots. Each slot, there's a little O-ring. Those rings seem pretty, they seem pretty good. They're really thick too, so there's no problems with my rings, and the car's 12 years old. Make sure everything's in correctly. We're not going to get any loose parts. Connected. Okay, now put it back in. Make sure it lines with the clips. It's pretty self-explanatory. There you go. Each clip is as follows. And it'll show right there with the wires as well, lining up into the little slot. So you can move this actually over here under. You can either go around that little thing or go in between. I'd rather go in between. It's just a matter of getting that in there. And make sure it hooks up nice and good. Oh, that clip's not even freaking inside. There you go. Make sure they're on out, and then click them in. Alright, got this clipped in. And don't forget to plug this little your sending unit in, okay? Unless you don't want to read your fuel, which, whatever. And then there you go. Make sure it's plugged in right, nice and connected. Push as hard as you can. Yeah, let's see if I can get a look at that. If you want to kind of test them out, you can just get your pliers. Try to pull them back out. Okay, that's good. And now you're ready to install. Just be careful not to drop anything in there, because it is fuel. It's very strong too, so. Get in there, the sending unit first. And then voila! Oops, I got browse the sending unit. You gotta be careful with that. It's very tight. Everything's really cramped, but and then what it's gonna do, same thing. Put this on these threads. Like anything else, thread by hand first. That's why those had springs. Make sure it threads on right. I do want to point something out when you put the one with the green tap, the actual fuel line. Make sure, listen, it clicks. Okay, because that's gonna grip on. And everything else is pretty straightforward. Of course, make sure you hear all your clicks. And there you go. That's pretty much the same as changing a fuel pump as well, obviously. The only thing is the fuel pump is a little bit easier, obviously. You don't have to take it apart. It's just a big old in and out assembly. Alright, now that everything's back, put the fuse back. And then after, if you disconnect the battery, sometimes cars, especially this one, older ones tend to kind of idle weird because of the battery was disconnected. So all you gotta do is just put it in neutral and rev it a little bit, keep it out there for about a minute, and then it'll reset itself. But this time I didn't do it. Last time I did though. Go for a quick drive and test it out. Okay, as mentioned, guys, I was gonna show you which one Riley's gave me. It's 33618 from a Wix, and yeah, sometimes for some reason they cross-reference, but the 04 Kia Rios didn't use it. So, as I have a random filter, I could probably use this for another car. I mean, most fuel lines seem to be depending, but that's not the one. I got that one on Amazon, the actual one. So search Amazon, and thank you for watching. If you even want to work in that little car, if you like my videos, please like them, and thanks. Subscribe if you like. Thank you.